Oh, buddy.
Welcome to a new edition of Potato and Bucket. We've taken 2 weeks off because of inclement weather. Fuck you, old man winter. But I have next to me, as always, my partner in crime, the other half of Potato and Bucket, Michael Beckett. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm just fucking peachy.
I understand that you have a new job.
I'm going to keep that out of this podcast.
Okay.
Just because I don't want to, ruin the reputation of my company that I work for, so.
Okay. It is a reputable job, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. Thank God. I was under the
I've
impression
not turned to prostitution or selling drugs.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, oh God, are you giving blowjobs to rich white guys for new shoes? Oh, thank God.
No,
Anyway.
I would fuck some desperate housewives for some cash, though, because, hey, my body ain't much to look at, but, we're not going to get into that. Okay, continue on. Continue on.
So, we have a plethora of content to talk about tonight.
We do?
Man, okay, so, as you know, I went and saw 50 Shades of Grey 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I remember that. I was going to go with you, but I couldn't get out of my damn driveway.
Yeah, the snow. So,
he lives close to the movie theater, by the way, so he could just roll his wheelchair down there and
just go out.
They shovel the sidewalks, but, out in us country folks don't get that kind of luxury, Right. Continue, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, so, I know there's some speculation about what I saw. You were wondering how much I liked it, and if I liked it.
I've heard so many mixed reviews about this film.
Well, I'm going to.
Did you read the books?
I never read the books. I'm going from just a movie standpoint.
Okay, so he's not biasing it He's not going movie to book comparison.
No, I'm not biasing it at all on the movie.
So it's going to be just from watching a movie standpoint.
Yeah, it's just watching the movie standpoint, not biasing on the books. First thought, I didn't hate it, but I didn't like it either. Things that kind of took me out of the movie were, A, the main characters have no fucking chemistry whatsoever at all. Anastasia Steele and Christian Grey had no chemistry at all towards each other.
Was he like her professor or
he was
a job interviewer?
She was sent to interview him because her best friend was sick. So she was sent to interview him because he was given the keynote speech at their college graduation. Okay, so when she goes to interview him, first off, it starts off kind of on an awkward note. She didn't really know what to say to him. She's kind of shy and a little repressed and all that. And Christian's very assertive and dominant, and the whole thing just didn't play out, I don't think, the way that people were hoping. But one thing I do want to mention is every motherfucker that went to see that movie that was being dragged there by their girlfriend looked like they were being dragged to the gallows to be beheaded.
Which, they probably got some pussy that night, though, hopefully.
Oh, yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I heard there wasn't really that much graphic in that movie. Like, there wasn't, it kind of, as far as, like I said, I can't speak for the book, or you can't either, but from what people have told me, it alludes to things in that movie. It will kind of reference that they're going to do something.
Well, no, actually,
but they didn't actually do some things.
Quite the opposite. There's no story in this movie. It's just basically one sex scene after the other.
So
pretty much.
He just hog-ties this girl and just starts
20. Well, not exactly that. 20 minutes of the movie, which it's a 2 hour and 4 minute movie. So roughly a third of the movie is pretty much doing a nasty. But the thing that I want to talk about is not necessarily the sex scenes, because, come on, it really wasn't that shocking. I think
was there a lot of nudity in it, or was there?
There was quite a bit of nudity.
Censored sex scenes,
it wasn't like porn sex scenes.
People were expecting hardcore porn on screen.
No, I think this is more like a Skinamax late at night sex scene.
So just pretty much boobs, butt,
more or less. However,
gotcha.
The subject matter, I think, is what made it a little more hardcore than what people thought. The one of the things that I want to talk about is Christian Grey comes off as the creepiest motherfucker I've ever seen in my life.
Is that what people are just so adamant saying that it's a movie about rape?
It kind of is, man.
For you folks at home, our Twitter, Potato and Bucket, Twitter, Potato and Bucket, at Potato and Bucket. I've seen a lot of people posting about this movie, and I guess they think it could be set for the book for some people, but they're pretty much saying Christian Grey just straight up raped this girl. From what I'm saying, she enters a contract and she's willfully doing it.
She never actually signed, because the whole thing is that, you know, if he's going to enter into a sub-dom relationship, she has to sign a contract, okay?
Right.
Well, she never actually gets around to signing a contract. She signs a non-disclosure agreement not to talk about their relationship in public. Okay. But, like, for instance, after she first interviews him, she works at a local hardware store in her town in Oregon. It's in Oregon, because he lives in Seattle, Washington. So it has to be the next state over, or upstate, or some fucking where. Anyway, he just suddenly appears at her place of business at her hardware store, and he just appears in the aisle like fucking rapist Batman. And
so he's stalking her.
Pretty much, yes. And when he appears, she says, "What do you need, Christian?" or some such shit. And he tells her that he needs tape, clamps, and rope. Which, at the first point when he's telling her the shopping list, I'm sitting here, am I watching 50 Shades of Grey or Ted Bundy's shopping list? I mean...
shopping with Jeffrey Dahmer.
Shopping with Jeffrey Dahmer. And that's pretty much what it felt like. And their whole dialogue during that scene is just so weird. I mean, because he's like, I need tape, clamps, and rope. And then... The next thing, now I will say
this.
Don't
talk about the whole entire, like, because you don't want to spoil it for people, but...
Spoiler alert. Because anybody who hasn't seen this movie yet, well, it's made like $190 million, so I'm pretty sure half of America has seen it.
Yeah, I mean, it's people have been watching it like this.
So, I want to say that Dakota Johnson, the chick who plays Anastasia Steele, she has some real, almost, she has more charisma than anybody else in the movie. She acts her ass off with not much with not much really good material, because I'm thinking that a 14-year-old boy wrote this movie and didn't do a second draft and just put it into production.
You know Twilight, or not Twilight, but I'm sorry. You know 50 Shades of Grey originally started off as a Twilight fan fiction.
Yes, I know, and which would make me want to read Twilight more if it was like...
And people, like, and the thing about it is, what's the weird thing, and this is my opinion, folks, the reason why, because I haven't read the whole entire book, but I've read a few excerpts, and from what I've gathered from people that have read the book, that are critical of books, not just willy-nilly fangirls, say it's written horribly. It's not good writing. I think it's not really any different from any of the erotic the erotic novels that are sold to horny housewives on, the paperback erotic novels, that you can find in the bargain bin. There's not really much of a better writing than that, but so I think the only reason is like all those stories, those novels, like the run-of-the-mill, erotic novels, is some woman that's husband is abusive or pays her no attention, then some young stud, muscle-bound stud with long hair runs in and saves her and just fucks her brains out. That's pretty much like what the general. That's pretty much like the general story of those erotic novels.
I can't dispute that fact.
Okay, so this changes it up to like there's a rich and powerful man that just wants to get freaky and kink with that bitch and just get into some S&M with her.
Well, I think
it's risque and people enjoy taboo.
When she's first signing when he takes her on a helicopter ride to Seattle and he takes her to his apartment, it was like a really nice penthouse suite. They're sitting there talking at the table, and I will say this is probably one of my favorite lines from the movie. Is he's like, "I don't make love, I fuck hard," and I started kind of I started laughing, and people in the movie theater were like, "Oh my god," and I'm like, "That's the cheesiest fucking thing I've ever heard." Then we get, and another thing I want to say is I feel like I have seen this movie before. I feel like I have already seen this in other movies about rich and powerful men who want what they want. Like, for instance, you ever seen the Thomas Crown Affair with Pierce Brosnan and Rene Russo in it? Where Pierce Brosnan, he plays Thomas Crown, who's a thief and master art thief or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there's a scene in that movie where they fly on a glider. There's also a scene in 50 Shades of Grey where Christian Grey takes Anastasia Steele flying in a fucking glider. And I'm like, I've already seen this movie once.
Does he chain her to the glider and fuck her on it?
No, he doesn't.
Okay, that's one. That was a joke.
But she goes to Georgia to visit her mother, and he doesn't text her the night before, or she doesn't text him back the night before. So she said her talk to her mother at some hotel with a bar off to it or some shit, and he sends her a text message and says, "Another Cosmo, really?" And then he just appears beside her, and I'm like, wow, Christian Grey.
That is pretty creepy.
The rich stalker. And, you know, and then the movie just sort of ends when they leave, and he's just like, Anastasia, and she's like, Christian, and then it just ends. And then he's like, I'm 50 Shades of fucked up. And that's from the book, apparently, which, I mean, I still laughed. I just thought the whole thing was really corny. And I mean, I'm not going to say my official kind of thing it's okay. I'm not going to say it's a 5-star movie, but it's okay. If you like that kind of thing, it's okay.
I haven't seen the movie. I don't really know if I want to, but I don't know. I was going to have a point, but I was completely brain farted on that one. But like,
honestly, if it were me, I would say save your money until it comes out on demand or something, and rent it and check it out if you still feel curious enough to watch it.
I remember what I was going to say now. Actually, I actually did some research because we were talking about researching some things for this, and out of curiosity, like just to see like if it affected people, like in like I didn't do for just this area, but like general areas like around like in our metropolitan area. I went to actually see, like, on Craigslist to see if there's people, like, women advertising for, like, to be, like, subs or whatever, just because the movie is so popular. And actually, not really to my surprise, but, like, because people are so influenced by media and culture today.
That's
but,
one
like,
thing.
there's literally, like, been, like so many. I've seen so many, like, housewife, husband's out of town, want to be tied up, looking for someone to dominate me.
Well, that's one thing I wanted
to... There's like huge numbers.
I wanted to touch on. I mean, that's one reason I wanted to go see it, and that's one reason I wanted to talk about, because this is very much a pop culture thing, and our podcast, our show, and everything we do creatively is very much pop culture centered. So this is a big part of now pop culture lexicon, pop culture everything now. So
I mean, it was kind of, like I said, it wasn't really shocking, but in the kind of same sense as like, are people like getting kinky just because of this movie, or are they just?
Well, the way I also
inspiring some type of sexual revolution.
The way I also read this too is our culture is so desensitized now by sex and violence. I mean, you can get on the internet and find way weirder shit than what you'll see in the 50 Shades of Grey movie. I mean,
that is true.
I mean, and like
very true.
When I was watching, I mean, and not that I'm like a really. Well, I guess I kind of am a sexual deviant in a weird way.
We've all seen some fucked up shit.
We've all seen some fucked up shit on the internet. I mean, donkey shows.
I'm not... amputee midget toilet porn. I mean,
that pretty much... Yeah, you've hit the weirdness. I am an amputee. I have no arms and legs, so I'm...
I actually have a friend that would send me some fucked up shit, so I'm just like, yeah.
Anyways, moving on from your weird private life, Beckett.
It usually gets sent to me.
It wasn't that bad. Now, I will say the cinematography in it was actually pretty good. The way the movie was shot, it looked good.
Do you know who directed that film?
Not off the top of my head. I'm going to have to look that up.
Who was the production company?
The production company behind it was Universal, actually.
Really?
And Focus Features.
I thought it was like a legendary film or something.
No. Focus Features is the one who... They made it. That's the company behind it, but Focus Features is owned by Universal, so, I mean... like I say, it was okay. I mean, I'm not going to say it was a great movie. It was okay.
Right.
I mean, I can't say that I hated it, but I can't say that I really liked it either. It was kind of, the whole thing was just weird. Like I say, no chemistry, wooden acting. Jamie Dornan is like the worst actor on the planet. Because his lines, he's so detached. Like, there's no good shit for him to say.
They might as well have had Hayden Christensen doing it.
They might as well have had George Lucas and Hayden Christensen direct this with Natalie Portman in it, because that's how bad the acting was. I mean,
you know where it was going.
Fucking Jesus.
All right, so what's talk about some video games you've got. You just picked up the order.
Yes, right? I did pick up the order. I'm not very far into it because I just got it today. And I only got it like a couple hours before you came over, and I played a couple hours of it. And so far, I really enjoy it.
It looks amazing. It really does.
The graphics are spectacular.
This is PS4, folks, by the way. But
yeah, for PlayStation 4, it's exclusive. Walmart, my grandmother went and bought it for me.
Oh,
and and she called and said, "What's that game you wanted again?" And I was like, "The Order 1886." Well, here, tell this woman at Walmart. And the woman at Walmart actually asked me, "What system is it for?" And I'm like, "PS4." And I'm secretly thinking, the only fucking system it came out for.
Your average, she might not have been a game player. I just have PS4 because I just want people to know that, hey, it's a PS4. But, like, your average Walmart employee.
And that's why I don't really like going to Walmart to buy video games. That's I mean, honestly, because nobody knows a damn thing about video games when you go to Walmart to buy video games.
You're kind of in, like, and damn if you do, damn if you don't. Like, if you go to, like, a retail store, like, you go to Walmart, sometimes you will have the knowledgeable young fellow or young gal behind the counter in the electronics section that knows their way around video games. Sometimes. Sometimes, most of the time at Walmart, you go to Walmart to buy a video game if you already know what you want. If you already know. GameStop, on the other hand, if you're going to get a video game based on opinion and you go to GameStop, you're going to talk to some Weibo basement virgin neckbeard for fucking 2 hours telling you that you need to buy the next freaking side-scrolling RPG 2D fucking piece of shit that takes fucking 50 hours to beat.
I don't like going to GameStop either. Honestly, because my preferred method actually now, and I used to be like, I like having physical copies, and for some things I still do. Digital download for me on the PlayStation, A, it's just quicker and more convenient. B,
I mean, the only downfall with it is a lot of times, I mean, every once in a while, but especially on PlayStation, I same with Xbox, is you really don't get that many deals on digital download with PlayStation. That's just what now on Steam you do, like for PC with Steam and some with Amazon, like buying digitally with Amazon games, great deals. PlayStation, I don't care if that motherfucker is fucking 3 years old. The game, you're going to be paying $59.99 unless they actually physically reduce it down.
The thing about buying it digitally though is you eliminate the middleman, and it just goes straight to the publisher, straight because GameStop takes a cut of whatever they sell, and. Plus, GameStop always tries to upsell you on their discount card, on their...
They'll ask you fucking 5 million times if you want to be one of their members to it, and like even if you already are.
Right, and I mean, God, and... okay, how do we get on this? Okay, the order. So back to the order, because we always enter down some weird rabbit hole. Wait till the beer kicks in, ladies and gentlemen.
We didn't even really get a good start on the beer when we
not yet. No, we're still, but we're just starting this thing.
To do part two. The beer gets going.
So anyway, the order looks fantastic. It's beautiful. Now I know there's been a lot of bad mouthing it because there's no multiplayer. It's kind of short for a $60 game. Some people have said it takes 5 hours to beat, but however, the developer said that 5 hours is pushing it, that if you take your time and explore and really enjoy the game, it takes about 7 to 10 hours, which that's about the same for any first-person shooter single-player mode.
And the thing about it is, like, if people are bitching about the lack of content on this game, but yet they're avid Call of Duty players, go fuck yourself. I'm not going to down Call of Duty players. Like I watch a lot of people on Twitch play Call of Duty, stuff like that. It's great, but if you're going to don't bash somebody on content, Call of Duty single player, you got 3 hours in a Call of Duty single player. That's
also don't bash. But see, the thing is,
the game's well done.
The game is well done, and the voice acting is stellar. The facial animations look real. I mean, and aesthetically. It looks very pleasing. Like, I mean, it really makes you feel like you're in steampunk 1886 London.
Would you rather have 5 hours or 10 hours, whatever, of great, good quality video game, or fucking 30 plus hours of just unadulterated shit?
I know you're not a very big fan of like QTE, but this game does have some QTE in it. But I mean, that to me, I mean, they're trying to tell a story in a cinematic way. Now it has its awesome, and I think the cover-based mechanic shooting, it's very good. I mean, it's just as good as Uncharted or something like that.
Like, the thing about QTE, like, you know, with cutscene, like gaming and stuff like that, it's not that I don't like it, but I like it and I don't want the whole game to be just that. Like, if I want to watch a movie, I'll watch a movie. If I'm going to play a video game, like, I don't want to have to Twitch respond. Like, watching a movie, every once in a while, it just surprises you, like, fucking hit X, like, and you're sitting there, you're thinking you're watching a movie, so you put the controller down, it's like, hit X, and smash X, I'm like, fuck.
And actually, the only QuickTime event that I've really come across is in the beginning of the game so far. The opening credits had a QTE with escaping the underground tunnels. And that was a cool sequence. I mean, and also, people who play...
This cigar tastes like shit, by the way. I'm sorry, go on. Sorry. People who play what?
Uncharted.
Uncharted.
I mean, Uncharted can take you 10 hours to beat if you really just sit and play.
Yeah.
Watching the movies and everything can take you almost 10 to maybe 11 hours to beat. You can beat it in a Friday night if you really want to.
Right. The reason why Uncharted seems so quick is because, like, it's pretty much the whole entire game you're bum rushing everything.
Well...
I mean, it just seems like it goes by. I guess it can go by fast, but
I will save the other half of my cigar for a few minutes.
I don't know. I'm using my swishers. I got some Black and Milds, folks. It was great up until about the quarter, almost done with the point.
It's kind of a thing. We always want to. We were trying to kind of smoke a cigar during our podcast because it's kind of our thing. It's it's our little ritual. Everybody has their own little ritual during the podcast, I guess. Well, I don't know.
It's not shooting heroin, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, again, another weird segue.
So basically, for the folks at home, what's this, like a synopsis of the order?
The order you play as, it centers on, your main character is Galahad, a.k.a. Grayson. Grayson is a descendant of the original Galahad. Basically, these knights were formed during the era of King Arthur, the Knights of the Round Table. And
Does Andre the Giant make an appearance?
No.
Okay.
They've started. Apparently, they're fighting a centuries-old war against half-breeds, which half-breeds in this game are werewolves. They're lycans. And they found this magical elixir that when they drink it, it heals their wounds, but it also gives them incredibly long lives. So I haven't played far enough to know how old Galahad really is or how old Percival really is, but according to their Supreme Chancellor, which is also really weird that a British game has a Supreme Chancellor.
Like
but anyway, the leader of their order, the Chancellor, the High Chancellor is what they call him. Legend has it that he fought next to King Arthur back when they first were fighting the half-breeds back in the whenever it was 1400s. Yeah, I mean it's got an intriguing story to it. It really does. And when I was playing it just a little bit ago before you came in, I mean I was down in the furnace room of the underground London. I mean, fire looks so realistic, and I mean it's beautiful. It's a beautiful game.
When I returned to the on-farm there, I saw very well done. It looks amazing.
And it is quality content and I've heard other people saying, like, I don't know what your scale is, but for me, $5 an hour is perfect. But I'm sitting there thinking, like, if it's just well done, a well done game, I mean, it doesn't, I mean, yes, 5 hours is short. Yes, 7 hours, 10 hours is kind of short. But you also got to keep in mind, too, that we're playing a linear video game here. We're not playing Assassin's Creed. We're not playing Far Cry 4. We're not playing Dragon Age Inquisition. We're not playing Dying Light. I mean...
I would imagine that they're going to have some DLC in the future to keep interest up.
I would imagine that they're going to have some DLC, and I imagine...
Because you can only replay a game so many times.
And supposedly this is one of the best-selling... This has been a really good, strong seller, and I would almost say Sony has probably already greenlit an Order 1887 or whatever the sequel is going to be called.
Possibly. It's a good possibility.
So I mean, hey, I'm down for it. I think it's a good start, and I want to play more. I can't wait. I love it. Another topic I want to touch on in video games, sticking with this, Beckett, you're a big fan of the Arkham games. Have you played those, correct? Yeah?
Yeah, a few times.
Okay.
I wouldn't say a big fan, but I do enjoy them.
Arkham Asylum and Arkham City, as you know, were developed by Rocksteady Games, and they were made. They were rated T for teen.
T for teen.
the new one, Batman Arkham Knight, is rated M for mature. And how does that make you feel? Where do you weigh in on that?
Well, I mean, depending on, like, they specify a reason. I guess it's going to be darker. It's going to be a little more violent.
Sefton Hill, the founder of Rocksteady and the creative director of the Arkham games, released a statement. He said, look, we're very well aware of the weight that an M rating carries with it, and we realize that it may not, that it's going to prevent, kids and little kids from picking up the game.
They have to say that.
Yeah, they kind of have to say that, from picking up the game. But he said, we're not adding explicit blood or nudity or anything like that, gratuitous violence. Basically, what the reason for it being rated M, they said, we wanted to tell the story that we wanted to tell. We wanted to tell a definitive ending, and that takes us to some dark places.
Okay, so it's more just like the
it's
content, like the dark content, not so much because of blood and gore and rape.
Right, and Batman's got some new moves, and I will admit he is pretty much cracking heads, which is how it should be. I mean, the comic books aren't exactly light in any way, shape, or form, especially if you read like Frank Miller's Dark Knight. I mean, that's a dark book.
Frank Miller always does pretty much.
Year one is dark. Those are dark stories, so I'm not really against it. And
as far as carrying a mature title, I really can't. Either way, as long as it's done well, I would enjoy it. And as far as like young kids playing mature games,
that to me is also up to the parent.
It's up to the parent, and good parenting, and like will play a part on whether kids should be like, because we like to blame video games, violence on video games, like that.
Well, speaking of violence in video games,
like what I was saying was, kids will get a hold of this crap. I remember as a kid, we begged our
regardless.
Can I get Grand Theft Auto 3? And
we all ended up playing Grand Theft Auto 3, whether it was at a friend's house or whether
our parents bought it
for us, not knowing what it was. I mean, we played it.
You play Call of Duty or any really mature game that has co-op online. You go on Xbox Live or PlayStation. What do you hear? 12-year-olds screaming children, calling everyone,
fuck you, fucktard.
Yeah, and
I fucking owned you in your turkey neck.
I was going to say another 3-letter word, but I'm not going to, bash the gay people with that word. But they tend to say that a lot,
and that's not right. I mean, but that's up to parents to monitor. That's up to parents to monitor.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, But it's not a thing. Kids will get a hold of mature.
Right, and I mean, and come on, it's Batman. It's not going to be like Batman's not going to be like getting a blowjob from Catwoman in an alley. I mean, you know what I mean.
That being said, I really don't think children should be playing mature games, because teenagers, like I said, it should be a parent's discretion. Like we didn't really start playing mature games until we was like 12 or 13 years old, which is under the limit. But we was mature enough to handle it. Like I said, I wouldn't let a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old play Grand Theft Auto by any means.
Speaking of that, still on the subject of video games, however, we're going to take a little darker turn. I know, darker than the Dark Knight.
Oh, go fuck yourself. Continue on your pee.
There's this... I watched the trailer for the new Batman... and, basically... Poison Ivy starts out and says, in the trailer, she's like, it all started with Scarecrow. It started with a meeting. He got us all together, came up with a plan to kill you and take Gotham for herself. And Batman's like, over my dead body. And Ivy's like, that was the idea. And I mean, to me, that already is suggesting that this is going to take a dark turn. And you have Scarecrow standing on a building saying pretty much, I evacuated your precious city with some threatening words and a little bit of toxin. That just goes to show that the safety you provided or the comfort you provided was very limited. And he says, when Gotham is ruined and I turn my gaze on the rest of the world, the legend of the Batman will not mean anything. And I mean, I'm down for that. That sounds like it is going to be fucking badass. But as far as, Rocksteady not watering down their content because of, to appeal to a mass market, hey, I completely and 100% am all for that, because to me that shows they got balls and don't want to compromise their artistic integrity.
Oh, God, I'm back. Sorry, folks. Beer going right through me.
This is the beauty of our podcast. You just take some
We
random
just sit
terms.
on a couch and
talk.
I mean, it's a joy.
We're going to get a little more sophisticated here soon, but
I don't like this though. I mean, we will get sophisticated, but this is kind of an enjoyable start, just because
this is
very leisure. Like this is
humble beginnings.
Like every podcast we've seen, it's like guys just sitting in a studio with like headphones and a microphone, like all this. We're talking on a fucking iPhone right now. I mean,
yeah, but speaking of violence in video games, now you have a PC. You're big into PC gaming.
Yeah.
You've heard of Slender Man, yes?
Slender Man. I haven't checked. I haven't been on Steam in a while to even see what's.
Anyways, basically, Slender Man is a game about you walk through the fucking woods picking up pieces of paper, and yeah, that's pretty much the extent of it.
This is an indie title?
Yeah, it's an indie title. You're picking up pieces of paper.
I don't buy much indie.
And a Slender Man stalks you through the woods, and there's no killing or anything in it.
Humble Bundle, I will say that.
There's no blood. There's no blood. There's no killing in it. It's just more about scare. I forget where this took place, but there's a story on the news not too long ago.
That's the fucking internet's trying from
about two kids killing their friend, or not killing their friend. Either wanting to kill their friend, they really hurt their friend, and they said the Slender Man wanted them to do it. And I'm amazed by this. I was amazed by this declaration because, quite frankly, there's no blood, there's no gore, there's nothing like that in the Slender Man. So I don't know. It is up the top. The prosecutors seek to deflect moves of Slender Man case on juvenile court. Yeah, this is where it was. The Slender Man stabbing case. Yes, they stabbed their friend and said that the Slender Man
a game or is it a meme?
It's a game. I think it started off as a graffiti thing. I think anyway. It's not. I mean, yeah, but again, this goes to parents need to watch their kids. They need to, if they want to, they need to kind of monitor what their kids do on the internet and do on video games. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
In my opinion, and that's not all video games' fault.
Okay, I see. They put it on a Minecraft mod,
right? Yes.
Okay, and it started off. A lot of it came from Reddit and 4chan because mostly everything on Reddit comes from 4chan or vice versa. I'm not going to explain. If you all don't know what that is, I'm sorry, but
Google it.
Yeah, I'll just Google it. But
we're an informative podcast.
Well, I don't want to get it because you don't want to start pissing off. Well, not so much Reddit, but as far as if you get into 4chan, you don't want to go pissing off anonymous because then you'll get a bunch of fucking. It's just a big mess. So
but anyway,
that's another story. But so it started off as an internet meme, and it was created by something awful.
Right.
That's probably debatable, but it's because original content is almost non-existent anymore.
No, you're right. I mean, we're to an era now where it's pretty much just all reboots and sequels.
Yeah,
and even in games. But so
that's what the game was. It's probably just kids playing Minecraft.
Beckett, what titles are you looking forward to coming up soon? You got any predictions? What are you looking for?
Really, honestly, right now, what I am looking forward to the most is the Battlefield game.
Oh my God! Yes, developed by DICE.
Very much.
They got the creative. I can't remember if she was the creative director or she was in some way involved with Uncharted. I think she was the creative director. She was the creative director on Uncharted 3. Anyway, she moved to DICE and EA to work on the Battlefield game. So that means it's probably going to be very strong in story.
Aside from that, I am definitely looking forward to
Battletoads?
No, not Battletoads. Yeah, Battletoads. But anyways, I'm really looking forward to. I mean, it's already in beta, but I'm really looking forward to
when it comes out.
Heroes of the Storm. It's a MOBA. It's a Blizzard-based MOBA. Let's face it, folks. League of Legends and Dota 2. You either got to be good at it, have played since it first came out, and be good at it now, or you're not fitting into that community because everyone will fucking hate your guts if you're new to it. The worst communities. I'm sorry if you're a fan of it or you play it, but if you've contributed to being just an asshole to a new player trying to get into it, go fuck yourself. Because everyone has to start somewhere. I found with Heroes of the Storm, because I've pretty much sworn off MOBAs, and then I got invited to the open beta, and it was just casual from the get go, and it was fun. It was very, of course they're working out the overpoweredness and working out class details of the different heroes, but it was like a game, a MOBA that you could actually just jump into. You really didn't have to learn too much about it to be able to play. I mean, of course, to an extent, if you want to be really good, really good, you had to learn what abilities to pick as you're leveling your character up to the match. But for the most part, I jumped in from the get-go and was like, hell yeah, this is fun. So I'm really big into that.
Are you looking forward? I'm looking forward to the new Mortal Kombat X. I'm really looking forward to that.
Yes, very much.
Looking forward to Battlefield Hardline. That looks like it's going to be an amazing game. I played the beta and it was actually really fun. I'm also looking forward to. I'm looking forward to Bloodborne, man. I can't wait to play Bloodborne. I'm excited about Bloodborne. Also, I'm looking forward to the new Metal Gear Solid 5 or Metal Gear Solid: The Phantom Pain whenever it comes out. I'm really excited. I'm really looking forward to it. And Battlefront. Really, those are the ones I'm going to buy probably this holiday season. I'm excited about those. Those are my three main games I want.
They're scheduling the new Battlefront 2015 to be coming out in late 2015. So it's going to be for PC, PS4, and Xbox One.
Yes.
So it's going to be the third main entry into the series. Well,
DICE and Visceral Games. With Visceral Games has a pretty good track record with Dante's Inferno and Dead Space. So
yes. Even though Dante's Inferno was kind of just a copy paste of freaking
God of War,
yeah.
But it was still fun. It had a good story to it.
I played on PS3. I enjoyed it. I did.
I like I remember the trailer song with
Ain't No
Sunshine when she's gone. Yes, I remember that. Yeah. And that was probably what made me really want to buy the game. I was like, that's cool.
The trailer was very captivating.
It was. Which, game trailers, man. I mean, some game trailers are better than movie trailers. I mean,
yeah. I mean, that is a good point because you really got to try to sell a video game trailer as far as
to get someone to spend $60 versus say $20 for a Blu-ray or $8 at the movie theater. Yeah, you've got to, and
especially on an unorthodox title. I guess kind of you got your main. You got your main release, your hot releases. They really could just.
You've got your Call of Duties. You got your Assassin's Creed.
For anything else, you actually have to. Really,
you have to have a good marketing campaign. Yeah, you have to try. Because I think back at some of the titles that I bought just for the simple fact that I enjoyed the trailer, like Gears of War, Halo, shit like that. I really enjoyed all that stuff. Also, but like I say, I'm looking forward to the new Mortal Kombat, which we will be playing the shit out of Mortal Kombat when the time comes.
If I need to just bring my PlayStation over or something like that, or we can. It's hard to do a podcast separately if we're hooked up to our online. But I need to bring over Mortal Kombat 9.
Yeah, we're gonna start a Twitch stream here before too long. Do some more stuff with YouTube. We got all kinds of new content coming out for our listeners, for your eye pussies, your ear pussies, and
I hate when you say that so much.
And Beckett will even have something for the girl pussy. That really was kind of creepy.
That was very creepy, folks. He gets drunk very easily. So
I'm not drunk. I'm just enjoying myself. This is a fun podcast. Also, before we started this thing, I showed you an interesting short fan film, and we're going to move into a little different territory now, people. I showed you a little interesting short fan film. Care to comment on all that?
Oh.
What you seen?
Power Rangers is a fan-made short film. Because kind of confusing, because it's a short film, so they don't have very long to go into it, But here, you want this?
No, yeah, very.
It didn't really give too much of like a background into what they was really doing. It was pretty much just like it reminded me of like what we was talking about, like Days of Future Past, where they're fighting like the Sentries or whatever. Pretty much like
they're called Sentinels. You illiterate comic book person.
Sentinels. I'm sorry, I forget. I'm not a big comic book nerd.
That's what makes you the perfect counterbalance. You're the other nerd.
I know. I like movies, but I don't read comics.
But this was interesting. I mean, I have to say, I'm not against it. I mean, it was a very interesting concept. It was very, very adult for the people listening who haven't seen it. Very, very adult.
Very adult.
4-letter words, drug use, blood, like graphic depictions of people being shot to death.
Black Ranger was addicted to coke and screwing whores, and evidently he was like a Wing Chun master because he had like the boards where he was like going like the blocks like Ip Man would do, like IP Man or Ip Man, whatever you want to call him. Like he was doing that kind of movement and shit, but that's pretty much all I got out of it. Like there's a big, we don't want to ruin it, but there's a big twist at the ending of it that it was pretty cool.
It was, but I have to say.
This lack of backstory, which like I said, you can only do so much with a little while, the last like 14 minutes, something like that. Not much of a backstory you could really do, so it's kind of confusing. It doesn't really elaborate. You have to be a fan to get who each one of the Power Rangers are. Which, I mean, as kids, we all watched Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. And again, for the folks at home, this was a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers all grown up. Not your Power Rangers Samurai or whatever's modern on Nickelodeon shit. I don't let your kids watch this.
Don't let your kids watch this thinking it's Power Rangers. I mean, it's not your Mighty Morphin. It's your Mighty Morphin Power Rangers all grown up.
Because a lot of parents like that, our age, have kids, like they will try to show their children stuff that they like. We liked whenever we was their age or a little bit older. But this is not it.
You cannot watch this little short film with your kids. It's very violent. I had fun with it. I thought it was cool, and I would like to see.
It was a very interesting take.
If they ever do a theatrical movie, like I say, the marketing campaign would almost have to be like your Mighty Morphin Power Rangers all grown up.
If they could get the rights to it, it would probably do pretty good.
It would do good. I think it would be an interesting reboot.
I wouldn't think it'd be like a huge blockbuster. But I definitely think it would definitely be a good cult following.
I think it would too. I think it would be something interesting to look forward to.
Speaking of indie cult following, did you notice? Like, I really didn't watch all of it. I'm not sure all the winners. I have it all in hand, but the Oscars, man, it was like almost like all indie films.
Indie films, man.
Were like winning left and right.
That movie Whiplash with J.K. Simmons won best.
Still Alice.
Yeah.
A lot of from what I saw, was like a lot of
indies won, man. Yeah, I know that Best Picture actually went to
Birdman.
Birdman, which was a really indie film. And that movie is a film. Like it is a film lover's film.
Yeah, you have to really enjoy cinema.
Yeah, you have to really enjoy cinema to like Birdman. It's out there, but it's cool.
Yeah,
and it was neat seeing Michael Keaton in a role that honestly is kind of like him being Batman and playing a guy who was famous for playing a guy called Birdman.
I watched that on demand. It was pretty good.
It was. I enjoyed it. I thought it was very, very.
I haven't watched Whiplash or Still Alice yet.
No, I haven't seen those either. But I did like Birdman. I thought it was really interesting. But yeah, you have to really enjoy cinema to enjoy this movie. It's not one that just your average audience can get into, I don't think. But it was really cool. But yeah, the Oscars, they surprised me. Not so much your big blockbuster releases, but your more independent films, which is good because, like I say, I prefer artistic integrity kind of sometimes. I mean, I'm very excited for the blockbusters. The slate of Marvel films coming out looks really cool. I'm very, very excited for. I'm very, very, very excited for Ant-Man because I think that just looks really awesome. Of course, I'm really excited for Avengers: Age of Ultron. And by the way, now that I'm thinking about it, do you know that Spider-Man will appear in Captain America: Civil War? Sony has leased Spider-Man to Marvel.
I read something about that actually,
and Marvel Sony is hoping that it is going to kind of revitalize the Spider-Man franchise. And vice versa, Marvel Cinematic Universe characters can appear in Sony Spider-Man films. And speaking of coming things, Neil Blomkamp, who's famous for directing Elysium, District 9, I think are the two big ones. He's doing Alien 5. Although it's going to retcon Alien 3 and 4 and follow after those, but it's going to give Ellen Ripley a proper send-off. I'm excited. This guy's creatively cool, and I think it's going to be neat.
I think I'll enjoy that. So let's look here. The movie's coming out here on March 6th. That's next weekend, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yes,
next
it is.
weekend. So we got Chappie. Have you heard any good things about this?
Well, that is also directed by Neil Blomkamp.
Really?
That's why. That's got Hugh Jackman in it. It's also got Sigourney Weaver. And I've seen the trailers, and it looks pretty awesome. I'm not so excited for the Will Smith movie Focus because that just looks gay. But, hey, each to their own, I guess.
Say another movie coming out, the second best exotic marigold hotel. Like I said, I don't really know anything about that one.
It says the director is John Madden.
Well,
to the 20, to the 30.
So it's a single. It's only a single remaining. This hotel has only one vacancy, posing a rooming predicament for two fresh arrivals. Sonny pursues his expansionist dream of opening a second hotel. So I don't know. It might be a romantic comedy. It might. I don't know.
We also have Unfinished Business, which is a comedy, and I have seen some trailers for it. It looks pretty fun. It's got Dave Franco, Tom Wilkinson, and Vince Vaughn. Vince Vaughn, man, he never changes his look through any movie, but he is still.
He looks tired, but I mean.
Yeah, he does in every movie.
So next we got Merchants of Doubt.
Yeah.
That's already out.
I've never heard anything about that, so I don't know what that is.
It said 2014. I'm like,
but it looks good. It might be good.
Not coming to theaters.
I want to see the Intimidation, the Imitation Game with Benedict Cumberbatch, or as I like to call him, Benedict Cumberbitch.
Bitch. Okay, here, one second. I'm sorry to interrupt your flow here, but Run All Night. It's coming out on the 13th.
Oh, God, we're going to get Beckett talking about
Liam Neeson.
Oh, God.
Okay. What? Another one. You've seen the previews for it, or the
I've seen the trailers for it 100 times.
Why is it? It's like he cannot get out of his character from Taken. He can't.
You're a fucking Liam Neeson bigot, you know that?
It's just like,
he has the biggest cock in Hollywood, right?
Great for him, but like I mean, it's not like
Chuck Norris checked under his bed for Liam Neeson's cock.
I enjoy Liam Neeson's movies just because I have to watch it just for the action. I can't, but like every single time I will go and see like a movie like that he does, especially lately, it is like all I think about is him and Taken because like it may be a different story to an extent. But it's always involved with something with his family, and he's always a hard ass.
He is. He's always a hard ass. Yeah, you're right.
He's always killing people, just like Taken.
Well, but I mean,
don't fight it. I'm just
don't fight it. He's like, don't fight it. Liam Neeson plays every character in every fucking movie. Fuck you.
He plays the same. But I mean, I do enjoy the movies. I'm not saying I don't enjoy Liam Neeson kicking
Bucket,
ass.
you get very hostile when you're talking about your actors. You're very poignant on your
I can be very critical sometimes.
On your critical stance, which that's good. That we want this to be informative as well as funny. So that's awesome. I mean, you're just it's directed by Jean-Claude Serra.
I'm sure you just butchered the fuck out of that.
I'm sure I just butchered the fuck out of that name. But anyway,
I think I got Sarah right.
Jean-Claude Serra. Anyway. He directed the House of Wax remake. He directed a few of Liam Neeson's movies. He directed
House of Wax was pretty good.
House of Wax remake wasn't bad. Paris Hilton Pike to the head was pretty cool.
I mean,
yeah, fuck her.
It was pretty good.
It was a good movie. He also directed the Liam Neeson classic Non-Stop. I like that movie quite a bit. You ever seen that?
Were they after his family on that one as well?
No, they're on the plane, and it's a bomb on a plane. The guy's threatening to blow up the plane, and he's like badass air marshal.
Oh, okay.
My sisters and mother are going to the Virgin Islands for spring break, and I told my little sister River that she better hope Liam Neeson is her air marshal.
Or, if she gets kidnapped, to call you so you can...
Call Liam Neeson.
Call Liam Neeson.
Call Liam Neeson's cock.
Potato roll to the...
That sounded bad. Call Liam Neeson.
We're
not even going to go there. But yeah, call Liam Neeson to have him save her. But yeah. Also, they're coming out with a new Cinderella movie, which is a live action, kind of like they did with Maleficent. I saw the trailer for this. The
only remnant, so it has Lily James, Haley
Atwell from which Haley Atwell is Agent Carter on the Agent Carter TV show.
Okay. And Helena Bonham Carter. Okay, I know who that is. She's been in every single freaking movie done by what's his face, Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yes, Tim Burton.
Tim Burton. Well, they was married or whatever.
Creepy
for a while.
art guy.
She's been in every single movie.
And it's directed by Kenneth Branagh, who directed the Thor movie and directed the Jack Ryan reboot, which was really good, actually. And he directed Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. He's a pretty gifted director, actually, as well as an actor. But I think, man, the cinematography is beautiful. It is gorgeous looking, and I'm excited to see it. I
don't know.
Also, but however, Insurgent, I hate Insurgent. I hate Divergent. The Divergent series just sucks dick.
We got a Christian film coming out, it looks like, maybe.
Yes. Like we don't get enough of those every year. And then a movie called Get Hard. With Will Ferrell and Kevin Hart.
It's gonna be comedy. I think it's where Will Ferrell breaks out of prison and that's what James King is nailed for fraud and bound for San Quentin. He turns to Darnell Lewis to prep him to go behind bars. So pretty much Kevin Hart is kind of stereotypical, but Kevin Hart's pretty much gonna teach Whitey how to get hard for prison, I guess. That's what I'm getting out of it.
Whitey how to get hard for prison.
That's just, that's kind of a...
Oh, man.
Even for the movie, it's why is Darnell going to teach, James King how to get... Why does the black dude have to teach the white guy how to be prepared for prison? Why can't the white guy teach the black guy how to get prepared for prison?
That's very...
I'm just saying. It's just...
Oh, God. Yeah, we've entered into Beckett's philosophical rant. That, kids, is what boredom looks like. Anyway, so, man, have you... all right, now we're going to switch gears a little bit, talk about the small screen entertainment for a while. I understand that you are a huge fan of Better Call Saul, and I have been watching this show, and my God.
You like it?
It is amazing. I'm captivated by it.
Did you watch Breaking Bad?
No, I've never. I never
watched.
Got
Netflix. Okay, you have Netflix. Your chore is to just fucking you sit at home all day and play video games. Take a break from video games and fucking binge watch freaking Breaking Bad.
Yeah,
you will appreciate Better Call Saul even more.
But I'm captivated by Better Call Saul. I thought it was funny the episode where they're camping and
oh yeah,
he's he opens the tent. Yeah. Here's Johnny. I thought that was just funny.
Great show.
Bob Odenkirk is superb, man.
Bob Odenkirk is great. But the thing is, I said, if you've watched Breaking Bad, you will actually get so far they've shown Tuco. You'll see people from Breaking Bad it's a prequel or whatever. So nothing's happened to them yet, or if everything's happened at all.
He's not even Saul Goodman yet. He's Jimmy McGill.
Yeah, Jimmy McGill, and so he's starting to come around in the latest episode. Which not getting too far into it, but he's starting to become that scumbag lawyer that we know and love.
Yeah, it's cool. It really is cool.
Very good.
So I'm enjoying that actually. Currently, I'm really enjoying that.
DVR. I'm faithful to that show. The thing is, I did not watch Breaking Bad whenever it was regular, whenever it was in syndication. Yeah, I didn't, just because I worked midnights at the time, so it came on Sundays, and I think it was Sundays, and it was just or whatever day it was on. But it would come on in a period of the nighttime where I would go to work. Mm-hmm. I didn't have DVR at the time, so I pretty much just waited. Everybody was like, "You got to watch Breaking Bad," and this is all from first shift and second shift people. And okay, I'll watch it. And then finally, whenever the season ended. Or the series ended, I should say, and it came to Netflix. All the seasons were on Netflix. I literally fucking binge watched it. And I was like,
I give an eye pussy rating to Better Call Saul. It will fuck you in your eye pussy.
Oh my!
It's so good.
I will actually that would fuck me in the eye pussy because the best series. And I'm not a guy I'm not really a TV guy like Zach is. Like I don't watch many TV series at all.
I have no life,
but I do, and I enjoyed that.
If we ever get T-shirts for our podcast, we got to have one that says Potato and Bucket, but we got to have one that says #iPussy. Just because I'm coining that term.
An anal in the 80s.
An anal in the 80s.
If you've watched our previous or listened to our previous podcast, you'll know what we're referring to. But Zach seems to think that anal sex was invented in the 1980s.
The anal sex movement. Anyways, but you don't watch Gotham.
It's not that it wouldn't interest me. I haven't seen it from the beginning.
Well, and
the thing was I had Hulu. And they didn't have every episode on Hulu. They just had the last 3 or 4 episodes. So I didn't get to watch season 1 or anything like that. And plus, fucking Hulu. I'm sorry, but yeah, it's great for TV or whatever. But you gotta pay. You gotta have ads when you pay monthly for it.
I'm hooked on Gotham. Gotham is one of those shows that I am hooked on.
Which you're big into Batman.
Well, yeah, I am a very big Batman fan, and sometimes I'll watch it and I'm just like, oh my God, that's Thomas Elliott. They're young, but he'll become Hush, and it hits me sometimes. I love it. A couple of episodes ago, Oswald Cobblepot, Edward Nygma were in the same room together, and they were talking to each other. I'm just like, that's the Riddler and the Penguin, and they don't even know it yet. And they're gonna someday try to kill the Dark Knight. And I'm just into it. And they also showed someone who is possibly the Joker in the not this last episode, but the episode before last.
I heard that, and I do remember that because I haven't watched it, but there was some people getting in kind of an uproar, and some people actually quit watching the show because of a potential revealing of the Joker. Because people argue, the Joker doesn't exist without Batman. Batman is, of course, not in Gotham.
Well, this really isn't, and I will give people that. The Joker really does not exist without Batman. However, this guy really wasn't called the Joker. His name was Jerome. He worked with the circus. He killed his mom, who was also a sideshow snake charmer. And when he's in the interrogation room, he starts laughing maniacally, and
so it just reminded people too much of the Joker.
I guess,
even though he's not really the Joker.
Even though he doesn't say he's the Joker, but I mean, it's you know what? Just because he's not full-fledged Joker yet doesn't mean when Bruce actually becomes Batman that this guy doesn't turn into the Joker. And I mean, and also in the comic books, the Joker really doesn't have a definitive origin. I mean, there's
of course, if you watch the one of the older Batman. Excuse me.
Yeah, he was Jack Napier in '89 Batman.
But so he was kind of he's a petty criminal. Then he kind of
in the comic books, that's not far from the truth, because in the comic books, the general origin story is there's 2 of them, but you never know the Joker's name before he became the Joker. The popular origin story is that he joined the Red Hood gang because he was a failing comedian and wanted to make money for his family. The head of the Red Hood gang positioned him as a potsy. Batman chases him to the Ace Chemicals building and accidentally shoves him into a pit of acid. Or not acid, but I guess it was called acid. Into a chemical bath, and it bleaches his skin. And then from that point on, he's fixated on Batman. But I mean, I was really happy with how they've done it. I'm happy with how they've treated most of their origins for some of their villains.
I've heard that origin you mentioned. So how did in that scenario, how did he get the Glasgow smile, so to speak, the cuts in his cheeks?
Well, in the comics, he really doesn't have cuts in his cheek. That's more just a Christopher Nolan thing.
Okay.
He's just a guy with
that
weird, that extended smile. And
I thought it might be makeup covering the cuts or something.
No, just that extended smile and just that really wide smile. I mean, some people have that, and I'm excited to see how they turn it. What?
Like Steven Tyler?
Yeah, like Steven Tyler. He could play the Joker. I'm excited to see how they do it, which, I mean, I'm excited to see Jared Leto's take in the new Suicide Squad movie, which finally, thank fucking Jesus, they finally cast Rick Flag. Rick Flag is a big part of the freaking Suicide Squad in the comic books. He is the leader, of the field commander of the Suicide Squad. The field commander, people. People were thinking, well, like, he doesn't really have a big deal, so why? What does it matter who they guess? They got Will fucking Smith to play Deadshot, Floyd Lawton. Yes, they got Will Smith, but Rick Flag is an integral part, and he needs to be in the show. Rick Flag,
you're adamant about
in the movie. Rick Flag Jr. is the field commander of the Suicide Squad, and he has to be in it. You know, and he's not a psychopath like the other ones, like the villains of the Suicide Squad team. Who the Suicide Squad is basically some lesser known villains who fight in the Suicide Squad to get a commuted sentence in prison. I really want to see. I can't wait for this. And they cast Joel Kinnaman, who is on the AMC show The Killing, and he played the RoboCop in the new RoboCop.
Didn't The Killing get moved to Netflix, though? Or is it
The Killing's on Netflix. AMC canceled it, and so then Netflix picked up the last couple seasons.
Okay.
So, yeah. But I'm down, man. I'm excited. I can't wait for this. And I'm ecstatic, man. I'm ecstatic. But anyways, Will Smith is Deadshot. Margot Robbie is Harley Quinn. Jared Leto as the Joker. The cast is really taking off.
I do enjoy. I like Jared Leto a lot.
Jai Courtney, who played John McClane's son in the worst Die Hard movie ever made, Die Hard 5, a good day to die hard, and it was just pretty much stupid.
Speaking of that, I actually watched the original one the other day. It was on.
The original was a good action flick. This one sucks.
For the 80s, it was a great action flick.
But I'm very excited. On Arrow, we actually got to see Ray Palmer in the Atom suit. So I was really excited about that. And I was also excited about when they took us to Nanda Parbat, I guess is how you pronounce that, which showed Ra's al Ghul actually bathing in a Lazarus pit. It was awesome. It was great. We're finally going to go on The Flash. Finally got to see who the Reverse Flash is, and it's is one of them or both of them on the CW? Is it Flash? Both of them are on the CW.
Okay,
CW is also getting ready to apparently do a Brave and the Bold series. We were just reading.
Yeah.
And they're also possibly they're doing another DC comic, iZombie, which that looks like more watered down for a chick, but I still might check.
I wonder why. I guess they couldn't really have DC and Marvel on the same station.
No. So Fox has pretty much got all Marvel. Which I don't like Marvel shows that much. I just think they're kind of uninteresting.
What do you think of the Shield?
Agents of Shield, I never could get into. I just didn't like it.
I didn't get into it either, but. Yeah, I mean, CW is kind of like not really.
It's owned by Warner Brothers. Dude.
Yeah, I know. No shit. It used to be WB. I mean, but yeah, I don't know.
I'm excited. We'll see what happens.
Hard to get viewers for that channel.
Huh?
I don't want to see that channel getting many viewers. They never really did.
Supernatural is one of their highest rated shows. Arrow and Flash are like those are the 3 highest rated shows.
Supernatural was on TNT.
No, Supernatural is on CW. The reruns are on TNT.
Okay, I stand corrected.
Corrected.
Then again, folks, I'm not the TV person here. This man over here on the right is, or comic book person either.
Yeah, I'm the nerd savant around here, man. I'm the master nerd. Kneel before Zod, bitches.
If I got to sit in front of TV for like at least 18 hours a day, I would be just as knowledgeable.
You would be. You would also know how to masturbate better.
I'm sorry. Okay, that's like I'm brain farted, but how the fuck is that even possible? Okay, you have no hands.
Well, I don't really think I want to get into this on the podcast. That's our other podcast soon to be started, Zach After Dark.
What's Zach Master? Actually, we actually had, we're trying to build up here, so we haven't had that many views on our first podcast. Probably, maybe this one will get more, but someone actually asked how does the tater masturbate? And
is that a real question?
That was a real question on a comment on the video.
Wow.
I
did not read that.
I answered it and was like, well, he just takes his little nub and just rubs it against his winky, and there he goes. I mean, it takes him probably God knows how long. I'm not sure because I haven't timed him or nothing.
Okay, so to our podcast
we're not going to go deeper than that.
No, but to our podcast listeners, I'm going to just go ahead and throw this out there. If you got a question for one of us, especially me or Beckett or Bucket, either one, why don't you hit us up on Twitter at Potato and Bucket, hashtag potato, ask a question. I'll do my best to answer it. Email us at potatoandbucket@gmail.com. Fucking Facebook us at Potato and Bucket.
I mean, we're out there.
We're everywhere, man. We're everywhere. Twitter, I just said that.
I got a Pinterest.
Pinterest this. I don't know if you can actually Pinterest questions, but Pinterest a picture.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I do every once in a while if I see something nice, I'll post like something cool like on our Pinterest.
Yeah, I mean, we're on Tumblr. Check us out there. That's more like a blog, but still.
Yeah.
And where you got a question, to send it to us. We'll answer it. We'll even turn that into a segment. We'll mention your name on the podcast. It'll be fun.
Like I said, if you got a Twitch feed, or if you're a musician, or even like just a filmmaker on YouTube, or let us know on Twitter or Facebook, and we'll give it a watch or a listen and see what we think, and might review it on the show. You never know. Yeah,
if you got a question, just hit us up on any one of our 1,000 social media outlets that we're on.
I hit them all, but I didn't hit. I didn't go on the one like what's the
LinkedIn.
I didn't go on LinkedIn, and I didn't go on the one where like you just post pictures of
Instagram.
Shit. Yeah, I didn't do Instagram.
Yeah, we didn't do Instagram, but maybe that's coming.
Maybe
we'll do Instagram shots of.
I'm not a big selfie or a photo taker on my phone, so that's Zach over there. That probably did the Instagram.
I selfie sometimes. I take badass outlaw.
I want to know how the fuck you selfie.
That's another question. I put it somewhere. My phone's voice activated, so I just in cheese, and it takes a picture of me.
Do you have the front facing camera or whatever?
Yeah, the front facing camera.
Okay. I was like, how do you hold the phone?
All kinds of ways, man. All kinds of ways. I will figure out a way to do it. It is. I will figure out a way to do it. I'm very independent like that.
I'll give you. You are the most resourceful motherfucker I know. You play video games. Freaking. I mean, if a man with no arms and no legs, folks, can find a way to jerk off, that should be inspiration for anyone. But it's just it's an astonishment. I mean, if you wasn't such a fucking dick, I mean, I think
I'm only a dick when I need to be.
Oh, that's true.
But I'm looking forward to pretty much everything we've talked about tonight on our on as far as what's coming out. Something else I want to say here, man. It is a good time to be like a pop culture fan. Whether it's James Bond, whether it's Star Wars, whether it's video games, whether it's comic books, whatever your thing is, it's a good time because
we're in this age of technology. It's so easy.
Yeah,
to
we're
access.
in the age of technology. It's so easy to access, so easy to find. And it's just above all that, it's fun. I mean, this is fun for people.
Because where we used to get pop culture, you had to actually go to them. Like, you couldn't find out hardly anything as easily on the internet because whenever we was growing up, the internet wasn't really not. It
wasn't the internet as we know it today.
Yeah,
there was no YouTube, there was no Twitter, no Facebook, no anything like that.
There was mostly just news, and then
there was message boards.
Yeah, message boards and some forums like that, and then. The revolution has changed it, man. Just tons of porn started flowing in, that's
all kinds of porn.
That's pretty much, did you know, I was reading something like, there's almost like 3/4 of the internet, of pages on the internet is dedicated to porn. Almost 3/4.
Oh, wow.
That statistic may be off now, but whenever I was reading...
The World Wide Web has 3/4 porn.
Yeah, I mean, as far as, of all the web pages that exist... whether it be a porn site that has a virus on it or not, but they might not be legitimate. But anything that has pornographic material was
your X videos, your porn.com,
not just, even the stills,
Pornhub,
pictures. Even if it has anything, not just a site dedicated to pornography, but if it has anything pornographic on it, they're considered porn. 3/4 of the internet. Also, like almost like, was it like 95% of emails that we will ever get is going to be spam, and most likely be sold, like trying to sell us Viagra from Canada.
Those are some awesome statistics, buddy.
I know. That's one thing. I'm pretty decent at statistics.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
In history, but it's what it is.
So if we ever do a podcast about Christopher Columbus, it's yours to host, man.
And that'd probably be the most boring podcast ever. More boring than this one, but it's fucking with you. But like it, yeah. If we ever did a podcast on history, I'm your guy.
Beckett's your man.
Oh yeah.
No, I mean, like I say, it's a good time to be a fan of all this stuff because, like I say, it's just so readily available, and there's a plethora of stuff coming out and stuff that back 5-10 years ago you had to hide the fact that you were a nerd. Now everybody knows who the fuck Iron Man is. It's
like this is the best time ever to be like geek or nerd or whatever you want to call it, because like it's become. I mean, I want to say it's become like part of it. It's a culture. Like everyone pretty much like accepts it, and I don't want to be called a part of the hipster culture, but that's kind of like a subgenre, I think, of the hipster.
Right, but I mean, we're all...
It's an alternative way of living.
But we're all, I think we're all in the boat together now, and it's exciting to see where all these comic book movies and, even a fucking Jim and a Holograms movie, which, God, I hope that does not get made, or a GoBots movie, because who the fuck needs a GoBots movie? But it is coming out. It is coming, people. All right, Beckett.
When's the next Guardians of the Galaxy, by the way, before we close this one out?
What?
When's the next Guardians of the Galaxy movie coming out,
The next Guardians of the Galaxies is coming out, I think, sometime in 2016, 2017.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be based off an original story, not off a comic book story, so that's interesting.
Huh.
So, but like I say, hell, nobody really knew who the hell the Guardians of the Galaxy were until that movie. It was so obscure.
But that movie was amazing.
That movie was fantastic. I can't wait to see another one. Well, folks, we have come to that time. From high atop the skyline of Gotham City, here in the Nerd Shack.
On Crippled Mountain.
On Crippled Mountain. In the Potato Nerd Shack. Whatever. We are going to have to bid you adieu until next week. So goodbye. Be sure to check us out on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Pinterest, anywhere that you get your social media gratification.
Social media outlets, yeah.
So,
sub us on YouTube.
And check us out on YouTube. Please watch us on YouTube. We beg you. So,
we're desperate whores.
We're really desperate media whores. So,
good night, motherfuckers.
Good night, motherfuckers. For the Potato and Podcast, I am Zach Van Devender.
Michael Beckett.
Good night.